on. All right, so what we got here this morning is we got another little detail that's going to be on the hood, which is a little high-rise centerpiece here that goes down the center of these Kenworth hoods. So I'm going to cut us a couple of little pieces of metal, and that's what we're going to do here this morning, is we're going to build that little detail on top of the hood there. All right, so this is the piece we after right here. We're going to clean it up a little bit so we don't get cut. Rough edges. We probably going to have to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably about 6 or 7 little small pieces to go with this to be able to make what we're trying to make. I said this is just another part of the detail that's on it. Really read it. So I like to get me some kind of hard mark on there so I don't have to stop. I don't have to stop and go back. I think my square has got a bad spot in it. It's time for a new square. So if you ever use your squares, for a straight line while you run a saw or a grinder or cutting wheel down the side of it, you can easily get in the edge of it just a little bit, and it won't be exactly a straight line anymore. If you know it, you can compensate for it, but you grab a bad square somebody else has had and start going with it, you could end up with some circle bow marks in your lines there. We need 2 of these pieces here. I have to cut them each and mark it, each one individual. So if you had a heavy enough metal brake, you could bend these pieces. This piece I'm making here out of individual scrap, you could put it in your brake and you could bend different angles on it. You could make it pretty much out of one piece. But we don't have a brake strong enough to bend it. So I'm gonna make it out of pieces. And like I said before, I was showing you how to take something from nothing with just a handful of hand tools, not no big sophisticated tools, but just take something from nothing with a handful of regular hand tools, something that you can buy at any little Home Depot, Lowe's, Harbor Freight tools, and take something that's trash or was used for something else and make something that's worth value out of it. Let me see that little pin you have. One ago, I like that little pin better than that raggedy crayon marker. I believe people that make stuff like that, they just sit around and figure out how they can make something to aggravate people that going to try to use it. Just like the engineers that mess on these new trucks and cars and stuff they make now, they sit around and figure out how hard they can make it for the average person to try to work on something. Some of that mess is like that truck sitting over there behind you, that Ford truck. That's one of the hardest trucks I got to work on. I hate working on it. You got too much crap on there in the way, and they do it like that on purpose. So the average person's gonna have to take it to a dealership. They're not even going. They may attempt to get out there and start and look under the hood, and then the average person's gonna change their mind. They're gonna say, "No, I ain't messing with that. Take it somewhere." That's what they want. I had a truck one time, a Ford F450 dually. The is it the air conditioning belt, serpentine belt on the air conditioning belt went bad, and something else on it. But anyway, I was going to take it. I took it to the Ford place, and I was busy back then. I didn't have time to really mess with it. After looking at it, it'd take probably 4 or 5 hours. You had to take the fan and all that off just to change the belt. I was going to take it to the Ford place up there. Well, I did take it to the Ford place up there. And the fella called back, and he kept it up there 2 or 3 days. He called back and said that he was going to have it back together or put it back together. And he called me back and said the shaft in the air compressor was sheared off, broke. And I told him just hold up and don't put it back together. He said, well, the man's already put it back together. I said, well, why would you let somebody put something back together take 4 hours to get to without talking to me first? So I just told him never mind. He was wanting me to let him buy a new air compressor and tear it back down and do all that stuff. I said, no, I'm coming to get the truck. So the next morning, at the time they opened up, I was up there to get the truck. And I said, I come to get my truck. He said, told me how much it was, like $900 and some to replace a belt on the air conditioner and a pulley. That's what it was when them tensioner pulleys started making a noise. And I said, well, I ain't going to pay nothing. I'll see my truck first. So I went back there and looked at my truck, and mysteriously, the air conditioner was working. Nothing wrong with it. So had I been somebody that didn't know anything about it, when the man called me on the phone, I'd say, yeah, just go ahead and do what you need to do to get air conditioning back running, and it would have been a $3,000 bill or more. But you have to watch some of them dealerships. They're not honest people. The ones I've dealt with, it was straight up crook. I'll never take nothing else back there again. Oh, pause it a minute. I seen Mark. All right, so we're gonna step over here and get us a little tack weld on it. If I want to weld it, and I want to be able to bend it outward. I want my tack weld to be on the outside. If I tack weld it on the inside, it's not going to allow me to bend it. So I want to be able to bend it outward. Yeah. Yep. So what we want to do is just get a little, small little tack on it. I want it on an angle. Set it up where I can get where I want it. That air there blowed my gas off my welder. We don't want to put a whole lot of tack on it because I may want to move it out some. We wanted just a little tray. We're going to come up here. See how I want it to fit. It looks like that side there's a little high. This one here's got more of a lean. This one here's got more of a lean to it. That one. So I want this one to come back my way some. That's pretty good. And before we weld it on there, I want to get a little primer on the back side of this and up under here, because once I tack it on there, I won't be able to get anything else on it. So we're going to take a break for a second, and I'm going to get me some primer mixed up, and we're going to come back and spray some primer on it when I get done tacking this here. mess like that, you don't want to get too crazy with it. It'll curl up on you. It'll move all kind of ways if you ain't got it braced up. All right, let's see, we need a couple little small pieces here. Ain't quite wide enough. Something a little bit wider. Probably take this. I got that too long. Trim that up a little bit. We just come here and put a cap. We'll cap the end of it. I need to mark it right there. We need to trim a little bit out of it so it'll fit down. It needs to be. Let me hold them. All right, so now I got that. We'll put us a little bit of primer on the back side of both of them. And then we'll tack this up there where we want it. That there's going to strengthen that hood a little bit more than what it was. Go ahead. That's all we're going to weld out for now and let it cool down some. Let's get some primer on there and go from there.